I was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight
for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone, standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you got to be alone, split you like you did alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Bel Air rose on my breath. I've been a student since '03, and we can fight till we see peace.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love the bada Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it, man. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out, now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive-by. Must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Snoop Dogg, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. D1, football, we won. Now proud of my son, Lil Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. Right on, SC, fight on. We 100, keep it coming, dip, slip, slide on, light on.
I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, then you know never to settle. I'm shooting common on the streets, I'm a pharaoh. Battling in African-American apparel. Fists on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work. Grinding till they teeth hurt, that's because they need work. Working till the feet hurt, trying to get my soul right. Used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's strength in numbers. To the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me.
I fight like that. 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 I fight.
An elevated conversation is an illustration that you have been in the presence of the Lord. You just talk differently about him. You don't go to the grocery store talking about, child, if these prices get any higher. You're not at the gas station talking about, oh, Lord, I can't hardly make it. Because you say, somehow or other, the Lord will provide. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to keep on doing what I got to do. A breakthrough is coming in my life. My sister was wanting some new furniture for her house, and she called me on the phone. She said, I want you to believe God with me that they'll mark the furniture down. I said, if you got the faith to believe that God could touch them and mark the furniture down, why don't you just go ahead and get the faith to believe that God could give you the money and you could go in there and buy it? God's getting ready to transform your thinking. You're getting ready to go to another level. It's not about bringing stuff down. It's about bringing you up. Take me up into the next realm where God can move in my life. Somebody holler, take me higher. I've been thinking too low. I've been looking too low. I've been asking too low. I've been hanging around people who talk too low. If everybody in your life, you got to feed them and encourage them, your crowd is too low. If you're the smartest person you hang around, your crowd is too low. If everybody's looking to you for help and answers, your crowd is too low. You need to hang around somebody that intimidates you, that makes you study, that makes you grow, that makes you pray. You need to get around somebody who is higher. Because iron sharpeneth iron, and great thinkers sharpen great thinkers. And for where you're going, your crowd has got to change. High five somebody, say that man is talking to me tonight. Something is about to happen in your life. That's why you had to be here tonight. This is a preparation for what God is about to birth in your life. I'm not talking about what you see in your natural circumstance. Your natural circumstances might look like all hell broke loose. But when you close your eyes and you look into the realm of the spirit, you see things that you can't afford. You don't know how you're going to get it. You don't know who's going to help you to get it. But in your spirit, you're seeing visions of it. I'm telling you, if you can see the invisible, you can do the impossible. Some of you seem ridiculous. If you told people what you had a vision of, they would laugh at you. It's not about being too broke. Someone will tell you you're too old and that it's too late and you missed your time and you missed your opportunity. And why don't you be satisfied to stay where you are? But the devil is a liar. God gave you that vision because it's a commercial and an advertisement of what God is about to release in your life. Jesus said, when you hear of wars and rumors of wars and earthquakes in diverse places and noise and pestilence and bad weather, he said, look up, for your redemption draws nigh. And hadn't this been a crazy year with earthquakes and pestilence and crisis and hurricane and tornado? It's nothing but a sign to look up, for your redemption draws nigh. As it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual. If you've been going through storms and earthquakes and shakings and breakings, don't look down. That's what the devil wants you to do. Look. The pestilence is a sign that you are closer today than you have ever been in your life. Closer to the next level of blessings that are about to break loose in your life. When he saw God and he saw God correctly, it changed his vision of himself. He went before God. He said, I'm a man of unclean lips. I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. It changed. A God vision affects your inner vision. And suddenly he begins to understand what he doesn't have. And that's good. It's good to know what you don't have, because then you come to God hungry. They that are not sick don't need a physician. People walk in the presence of God, God, I have everything I need. I need absolutely nothing. I'm doing absolutely fine. I just dropped by to visit you. It's like going to the doctor's office and say, excuse me, Dr. Wilson, I just dropped by and made this appointment to tell you I'm totally healthy. I'm doing fine. I don't need anything at all. I have no symptoms, no problems. I don't need a checkup. I don't need any medication. I just came to hang around in your office. He said, I don't have time to hang around you.
because you don't want anything. Hunger gives power to vision. Hunger. He that hungers and thirsts after righteousness shall be filled. Jesus took 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and gave a smorgasbord to people because they were hungry. Their hunger motivated him to perform a miracle that he hadn't even planned to perform. But the disciples said, you got a hungry crowd out there tonight? Let me tell you, your hunger controls how well I minister. You can make a preacher preach. You can make a teacher teach. You can make them dig down and pull out treasures because you say, oh, no, you're not getting off with no ham sandwich tonight. Brother like me, go have some food up in this mud. Feed me. Feed me. Somebody say, feed me. For where you're going to need to be fed. You're not going to have to eat on yesterday's level because you're going to the next level. Your eating habits have to change. And in a vision, how do you see yourself? It's not enough to see God as being able if you don't see yourself correctly. Paul said, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. So if I was an enemy and I couldn't affect how you see God, I would damage how you see yourself. Till you got to the point that you believe God could do anything, but you can't do anything at all. And you start saying, oh, God can bless him and God can bless her and God, woo. But you don't believe that God could bless you. And then you settle to be a cheerleader in the church. You come to church with your pom-poms. Go, Bishop, go. Go, Bishop, go. And you don't understand that he is not ministering for your entertainment. He is ministering for your preparation. And if you have a church full of cheerleaders, after a while, we kill great preachers. Because every touchdown, they have to make it. Every point that's scored, they have to do it. You want to be surrounded with people who become what you are preaching. Say this with me. Next year, I want the word that I heard this year to be made flesh in my life. Number 3, he gets an outer vision. He gets an outer vision. I dwell in the midst of a people. He began to evaluate. He evaluated himself. He evaluated his crowd. And outward vision is important. God does not come into your life to speak to you about where you are. He comes into your life to speak to you about where you're going. Because where you are going is far more important than where you are.
Ready for Revolution. Welcome to another edition of Classes in Session. Your brother and friend, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad here, coming to you live and direct. Alive, thank God, and direct. I pray all is well with you and yours. Family, thank you for allowing me to share that passage from T.D. Jakes. Yes, Sister Sherry Brown, he was an experience in Atlanta, boy. The Jakes was an experience in Atlanta, no doubt about it. And I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to share his word this morning. Everybody has a word. Everybody has a story. It's like our leadership says, like Mr. Ty Best constantly entrenches. You have the dream, you have the struggle, and you have the prize. Dream, struggle, prize. Dream, struggle, prize. Okay? Without struggle, nothing is achieved. Nothing. You know, without struggle, there can be no progress. That's what Frederick Douglass said, right? Okay, everything in life constitutes struggle. Okay, you struggle to get up in the morning. Some of us. You struggle to get going with your employment or work. We struggle to bring life into the world. We struggle to come into the world. We struggle. Struggle is an ordained assignment from God. It's ordained because struggle's designed to make us better. Struggle represents that other aspect of the ministry. You see? And what's the ministry? It's the ministry of let's go. Let's go. Let's go ministry. It's the ministry of the let's go, because we have to position ourselves to train. Something else T.D. Jakes said so many years ago, but we covered it here a week or so ago. He talked about resistance being the gymnasium of God. That's where you go and get all your equipment to work out in. You combat against the pressure. You break down your muscles to build your muscles up. When you hit with crisis, you look where? Up. Because in the crisis, there is a solution. In the crisis, in the struggle, there is victory. If we don't quit. If we don't quit. If we don't quit. So greetings and salutations to everyone that is here with us this morning. We're going to move right on into it. We got some housekeeping rules naturally. There's just a couple of things that we really want to embrace and get us all to understand in this dynamic. Okay. The one thing that I want us to understand, you cannot serve two masters. Anytime you have to make a decision between this and that, those are masters. All right. If you do, that's a master. If you don't, that's a master. When I say yes, that's a master. If I say no, that's a master. You see, we're going to get into it in a minute. Everyone drive the world to this event this Saturday. July 4th is Independence Day, and it's Gold Independence Day in Carabaos. It's just not the independence of a nation. We're in a nation now that needs dependence. They need to depend upon something. You know, I can tell you right now, this is a 4th of July like no other ever in our lifetime. Because all the veils have been exposed. They've been removed. The invincibility of a country and of nations are no longer, because God made the entire world sit still. I focus on God a lot because why not? Look, check this out. When the March-April season came in, for the first time, I don't know how many decades, the world of religion was made to embrace Christianity with Easter, Ramadan with Islam, and Judaism with Passover, all at the same time. So in this time of trained competition, where my God's better than your God, my church is better than your church, my temple is better than your synagogue, all that came to a screeching halt because God said, I'm better than all of you. And he sat us all down and brought us all to a grinding halt, and we all sheltered in place with our God. True? We sheltered in place with our God and made to focus on what he deemed important. Don't you come out that house. Don't you go out there without that mask. Don't you step out there unless you're essential. Don't you walk around here and eat everything in the house and not have something to can, not something to prepare, not something to build upon. You see, he brought us all still in that time. And what happened? The world collapsed. The world collapsed. And now everyone is in this hush, hush economy reset. It's a hush reset. But we have the solution and the answers. So this July 4th is really for you and I. July 4th is really for you and I to spread our wings, tout our voice, and equip ourselves with the vehicle that'll make things happen. So backed by popular demand, Saturday, July 4th, Gold Independence Day, Freedom, the WBW system and you, presented by Mr. Ty Best right here. Classes in session, the Eric Trey Muhammad Facebook page. Right here, a Wealth Builders Worldwide special event. Family, bring everybody you can. Don't stop at 5. Bring everybody. Share this out with everybody. And I'm willing to wager almost, because I'm not a wagering person. You tune into this stream and share it out as a watch party and put your link there. I'm almost positive it's going to yield fruit. Actually, I believe in all my being it's going to yield fruit for you. It's going to grow us. It's going to grow us. So, Saturday, 8 a.m. Then, of course, you heard from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the opening. July 4th, also, right after classes in session. Okay? Well, not right after. It's literally right after the power call. He'll actually come on. But 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK and in parts of West Africa, the criterion. Blessed is he who sent down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations. All of us possess a particular calling from the God to be who we are, do what we do, and excel in the way we need to excel. But we can't serve two masters. We got to know that we're serving God. We got to know that we're moving on our affirmations. We got to know that we're moving with conviction. We got to know we're going to do it. Pay yourself first. You got to know it. 1/10 of a gram saved every day creates a legacy free from want and lack for future generations. Pay yourself first, folks, not last. And of course, all of us going to be in the place to be, 10:45 a.m. www.goldrocks.info. We got the real Browns today, y'all. It's going to be popping. The way to change the nature of our experiences is to change the nature of our thoughts. Then at 12 noon, we have the live presentation. Do the same with the live presentation. Drive everybody you can to goldrocks.info. You get on Gold Rocks as well. And then when you find it on your Facebook page, this is dual task. When you find it on your Facebook page, then you share it out and put your link so people can find you. Don't ignore your friends, families, and supporters. They won't ignore you. All right. And then, so 12 and 9. I want to say that again, www.goldrocks.info is the presentation at 12 as well as 9 p.m. Eastern. And I want to say this. I'm gonna stop right here real quick. I want to say this. It was such a humbling experience. Now, I was lifted. My chest was out there like that proud peacock. But it was such a humbling experience because I've always seen it this way with the Tuesday dynamic. But when I heard the coach of coaches last night, when I heard Brother Al Murray, yes, Mr. Bustin' Loose, when he referred to me and then said that he was honored to be partnered with me on Tuesdays. Oh my God. Boy, this wealth building dynamic, when you're new and your eyes are open, you are striving and you're like a sponge. You soak up anything that has moisture. Water, in this example, equates knowledge. Okay, so anything that possessed a little moisture or drip or anywhere, it was like a head first slide. When Carlito and I came, my wife came, when we first came in here, we were like head first slide and trying to catch that moisture before it fell on something else or someone else. We wanted to understand and grow and know it all, right? I'm still that way. Carlito and others, we're still that way. So the people that were in front of us are the people like the Browns and the Murrays and the Dalcos and the best families and Roger Williams and Rodney Berger and Maxine Jones and oh man, Sheila Abrams. Oh my goodness, Sheila Abrams and her son. I mean, all these things and people were in front of us. Dante Taylor and I mean, everybody was in front of us, and we were soaking it up. You know, the union, the Team Freedom, right? So even to this moment, and I feel like I've been here forever, but I'm just beginning like you are. When I hear any one of us mention any of us to each other, I'm proud peacock. Oh, I know them. You right? But when it happens to me, boy, that feeling last night, of course, my wife's like, go sit down somewhere. I couldn't help it. But the presentation, all in all, was fire. It was really, really, truly fire. Okay, last of the, I just had to get that out. Love you, brother Al, the coach of coaches, as well as Mr. Gregory, Professor McKay. All right, live event. I'm doing this Saturday, July 11th. It's the tickets are available on Eventbrite. Gold, a simple wealth building system. Gold, a simple wealth building system. Proceeds there is not written, but proceeds there allow me to publish the books that are coming. And I want everyone to have them. So Saturday, July 11, 2024 p.m. Eastern, Gold, a simple wealth building system presented by your brother. Hopefully we're in attendance or at least spreading the word. And of course, thank you all last night for being a part of our session. The 90-day run to wealth. For those who want to be a part of it, each and every day you can do this. You can text your full name, email address, and the message 90 to 404-246-5708. Subscribe to the Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel. It's free. We also request cash donations of $2, and you can cash up it to $ eTeray or via PayPal, via PayPal, paypal.me. Eric /Eric Teray. It was a great class for me last night, and to hear all the experiences and watch people share. So these are some of the things that I want to share, and we're going to share it from this one particular slide. Okay, because when we talk about serving the two masters in this scenario, I'm really talking about serving two masters or products. We talk a lot about products and having product knowledge in this opportunity. That's natural. Everything carries a product, you know, when you're networking, whether it's affiliate networking, whether it's relationship networking, everything and everyone carries a product. You know, for many people, our product is a dream, right? And we move with it. Okay, but the products here that I want us to understand are debt and gold, or money. All right, and I want us to understand that money and debt are two different things, folks. Money and debt are two different things. They're two different things. All right. So when we talk about debt, what are we saying? Debt is the number one retail product in the world. It's the number one retail product in the world. The number one, debt. Well, how is debt a product? Debt is money. No, debt is not money. Gold is money. Debt is a product that yields or grows or attracts money for the retailer. This is a system of debt. I'll give you an example. And we used this example last night in our session. Many of us have been to retail stores before, department stores. And department stores, when you walk into them, whether it was Macy's or JCPenney's or any of these things, even the electronic spaces, they're department stores. They specialize in certain things, right? So you might have Best Buy or what have you. All of these spaces, the Targets, even the Walmarts, when you walk into them, there's an area of each one of these stores that provides credit card or money services in your face. They don't sell the clothes like that. They don't sell the merchandise, the electronic gadgets and the housewares and so forth the way they sell debt, the way they sell credit. Credit applications are everywhere. Somebody might be standing inside the middle of the mall or standing inside the middle of the department store and encouraging you to come and take a look They sell debt. Why? Because there's more money and more profit for them in debt than there is in the merchandise they provide. See, the merchandise, a store is the ultimate window shop for what the retailer or vendor truly wants to sell. And they push it out there, and they push it out there as an attracting force. And they utilize terms that have been on us since slavery. And those terms force us to process slow growth when it comes to wealth building. I'm going to share this with you. I want you to understand it this way. Okay. I urged us last night to go check the congressional records of Washington, D.C. You know, Google it, find a way in, get your free account, go to the library, read a little something, something. The first slave trade enacted, recorded in the congressional record was April 1st, 1555. That, friends, is the origins of April Fool's Day. April 1st, 1555. In schools, they taught us or trained us to believe that slavery began in 1619, but it literally began in the hells of the Western Hemisphere, the hells of North America, in 1555. If you take 1555 and subtract it from 1619, that's a 64-year period. That 64-year period represents what they call poetic, what's the word? Not antagonist. For lack of the word, it's a poetic comedy from the slave master. So everything that came out as a game show came out as a game show with 64. It used to be the $64 question. It used to be the $64 $100 pyramid, the $64,000 pyramid. Pyramids were used because why? We were a product born and birthed from another space, and we were the resource. The 64-year period is the period it took to break a great African nation, to break a great indigenous nation in the Western Hemisphere into slaves, fools, tools, and they broke us. And they broke us from the God mind, the gifted mind of abundance, because they needed the talent to produce their and construct their reality. So that was the first, April 1st, 1555, and the ship was named Jesus. God. All right, so then there was a Sir John Hawkins or a Sir John Hopkins. They were never clear on the name, but his ships are the ones that traveled to back and forth and organized or constructing the slave trade. Look at the language that was used. They even have a recorded language. The language was used as, hey, fellas, y'all doing really good over here. And now, because we had never seen them, we welcomed them. And we welcomed them and trusted them immediately because that's what was amongst us. We trusted ourselves and we were productive people. I mean, we wore gold slippers. We wore silks as garments, right? This fella shows up and he's well received, just like the indigenous of this country well received the Europeans that came across the waters. And they were tricked into smallpox blankets and their ranks decimated. So there on the shores of Africa, hey, y'all got a pretty good thing going here. Look, you can receive more gold. In my country, you can get more gold in my country more than you're earning in your own country. Why don't you come out and meet me here on the shore in the morning and, come for the ride. We'll show you. See, ever since then, that was the first trick where we believed nothing is free. When we were offered that ride, there was no payment discussed. There was no excursions. costs discussed. It was a free ride into their way, their life, their system. So that has stayed with us subconsciously. So this is why people have such a hard and difficult time accepting that something is free. Hey, do you look for ways to make more money? Do you keep your financial options open? Hey, get this gold savings account. It's a free account. Oh man, ain't nothing in this world free. Why? Because in your heart of hearts, in your lives experience from your ancestors, you know that you paid a price for everything that was done that got you to this point. So there's an impact psychologically. There's a spiritual deafening that doesn't allow us to hear that God is bringing a remedy, right? So we stall on free. Sherry Brown was the first woman I ever heard, first person I ever heard say free 99. And I got to admit, it perked my ears up. People are willing to listen to 99. It has to cost something, but let it be cheap in our mind. Free is not cheap enough. Free is not respected in this mindset. But that's the only way God gives it to you. He doesn't charge you to serve him. He just offers. And when you serve, he provides. That's the power of this universe. Okay, so debt is a product. Debt and money are not one and the same. You see, you cannot sell money. It's not possible. That's why we exchange. We exchange for these, right? We exchange for them. We exchange. We take out declining paper dollars and we exchange for its gold. We exchange in these. We don't buy them. In order to have currency, you have to have some kind of power or energy. So when we put energy behind the dollar, we give it power. But it's a power that is not sustainable because it's a power that does not provide a store of labor. It does not provide a store of value. So therefore, it cannot be all that this is, because there is a store of value. There is a store of labor, right? So you can't sell money. You can't buy money. You can exchange for it. And that's what we do in this opportunity. You have two products that are not the same. Okay? Look, gold is money. Gold is an asset that's designed to remove all debt. That's what an asset does. An asset is designed to remove debt. It is impossible for it to acquire debt. Gold is debt-free. We have a debt-free company in Caribars International. We cannot carry debt because assets do not carry debt. Assets are designed to remove debt. That's why your bankers, your nations of the earth, they hoard gold and don't tell you about it, because they pump the fake money to you and you exchange this fake currency all over the world. And when the world is about to be crushed under the weight of all this paper, all this tree accumulating, all this cotton accumulating, all this ink bearing accumulation, what happens? They want you to forget about it when they spread out a little of the gold and reset the economy with another piece of paper. Boy, here's the problem. When you equate the two, when you make gold and debt one and the same, you're really crushing your own dream. You're deterring your dream. You're deterring yourself from the vehicle by which you can grow. You're taking yourself away from the value and you're making yourself valueless. You know, we can't equate the two. We can't make the two the same. I'm gonna give you two scriptures that I gave last night. Oh yeah, we went to church in the 90-day run to debt last night. All right, whoo, now you they run to wealth. Okay, look, we gave Matthew 6:24. No one can serve two masters. You have to hate one and love the other. What does it mean to hate one? You don't focus on it. What it is to hate one? You remove it, you abolish it from your mental, from your energies, and you position yourself, as Mr. Dalco says, to give 100% to that which you can control and give no attention, no leverage to that which you have no control over. So you have to love the other. What is it that we love? I love freedom. What do you love? I love control. What do you love? I love to be me, be free. All right. So if you love that, you put all of your energies behind that, and you allow the energies and the influences over your mind to work in concert with each other in order to produce the proper concerto. Man. Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. I'm gonna read it again because I had a little moment there. Proverbs 22:7. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Now, let me show you the freedom in that passage. It's carrot bars. It's carrot bars. You know, the rich rule over the poor. Yeah, we experienced that when we didn't know ourselves, when we were out of our minds. You know, I remember I'm leaving the plantation. I thought about something that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told me years ago as a young Muslim. I might have been 19, 20. I don't remember the age. He said, brother, one day, folks' minds going to be right, and they're going to walk away from these plantations. They're going to leave the slave master right there with his jobs. And, you know, I didn't see anything wrong with that because I had never had a job at that point. I never had a job, and I don't know when. I didn't have one. And he said, you're going to listen to Farrakhan, and your mind's going to get right. And you're going to walk in there one day, and you're going to say, hey, Jeff, can I talk to you for a second? They'll say, sure, Becky, sure, Bob. What is it, Bill? Hey, I'm out. Here's your credentials back, and I'm going about my business. What do you mean? I quit. You can't quit. You'll lose your job. He's talking about the shock that comes over so-called bosses when they're made to wrestle with the fact that they have to do the job themselves now because you're leaving, right? So they said, well, why? What did they do? What about our relationship? He said, look, it's not you. It's me. You see, I heard something down there at that temple, and I got my mind right. I got it back, and well, I'm not yours anymore. No offense, but I got to go for self. You know, and we would take that message he gave us and we would teach it everywhere. It was the dream, folks. It was the dream. It was the dream. And it was a road. We saw the end game, but now we had to get on the road to the destination. And here we are, growing into it. Here's carrot bars. Here's carrot bars. Carrot bars does not allow the rich to be over the poor because we expose the rich and become wealthy, and we eliminate the poor mind, the poor spirit, the poor energy. We don't give any value to procrastination. We don't give any value to it. We love focus. We love energy, and we go and we let's go. We do it together, right? In this system, you no longer spend. Spending makes you poor because you're taking the representation of money, you're taking that currency and you spend it away from you. You don't save it, exchange it, or circulate it in your own community. You're willing it away from you. And then you're without it. Then you're forced to run back and clock in again. My mother, may God be pleased, she used to tease me. She teased me about this all the way up into the last years of her life. She passed at 84. She said, you don't understand what kind of person Eric is. I watched Eric take a peppermint stick, break it in half, give one to one best friend, and the other half to the other best friend, and then sat there and cried as they ate the peppermint stick because he had none. Right? So here, when you think of money and debt being the same, when you equate it, you're breaking your gift, the sweetness of abundance, and you're giving it off to this one, you're giving it off to that one, and you're crying because you cannot relieve yourself. But in the world of carrot bars, the rich, right? The rich rule over the poor. We don't see debt as being a significant calling, right? Meaning we don't strive to get income just for that, when we understand that debt is something that we overcome to grow our wealth. So we don't spend towards the debt. We're building towards release. We're releasing the debt and growing our wealth. So we talked over some strategies last night. You really want to get a part of the 90-day run to wealth. Okay. So now the borrower is slave to the lender. This is carrot bars on a whole nother level. Because we deal in gold. Gold carries no debt. We have our own community. So therefore, we circulate our monies within that community. We circulate on our blockchain. We circulate through the technology. We circulate through our exchanges. We circulate through our AI portals. We circulate what we have in our saving system, and we refer, and it creates commissions for us in our unilevel programs and unilevel bonuses, and we acquire packages that have gold in it, and we get matching gold along with cash commission when we make it available to others to acquire and do the same. It stays with us, and it grows and it grows and it grows. So what happens? How do you borrow? You don't. And we're no longer slaves to the lender. However, there's a part of carrot bars coming where you can extract your own money. You can loan it to yourself. Y'all be on that call today, Wednesday. It's Wednesday, right? Y'all get on that call today. Get on your power call. Get on your power call. Drive everybody to your power call. Drive everybody to your live presentation. And I'm apologizing now, because I was a total nutcase yesterday by the time 12 noon came. By the time 12 noon came, Sister Maxine, you had me gone, right? But even before that, to hear Khalito Muhammad come on this platform and talk about the 100 acres of land that they are contracting for right now with his group, Muslims in carrot bars, because of what they've done with the 10th of a gram of gold every day. Dream, struggle, prize. That's our story. That's carrot bars. We can never be slaves to ourselves. We can only live the life we are. We can only live in the abundance that God has promised us. And I thank God for Dr. Harold Constantine Sykes. Yeah, you call it what you want. I thank God for Dr. Harold Constantine Sykes for being that revealer of a truth, that gold is money and is a vehicle designed for honest people around the world to embrace, because each one of us have a story that the world is waiting to hear, that the world is waiting to embrace, that the world is utilizing or hoping for through, rather developing hope through our story. Tell our story, folks. Tell our story, folks. Debt is not the same as money. You treat debt as it is. If debt is an enemy in your life, remove the enemy. Remove the enemy. If debt is an enemy in your life, remove the enemy. If you have a measure by which you can manipulate debt to your advantage, than be that manipulator of it and utilize it as a good debt or as a good credit when you have a strategy in place. But look, here's the other thing. We used to say, well, why you have a credit card? Girl, I need a credit card. Why? I need a credit card because I need to have something just in case of emergencies. I don't have any money. I need to pull out that credit card and be able to do X, Y, and Z. No, you don't. You save for emergencies. You don't get a credit card for emergencies. You save for emergencies. You're a disaster waiting to happen with a credit card thinking like that. I'm not chastising. I'm just sharing a truth. Okay? You save to grow your wealth. You compound the interest you have in yourself to compound the commissions monthly and weekly. You save to grow your dream. Yep. That's the 99 we should be looking at, Rod's range. That's right. 999.9. Believe that. Carrying debt is a heavy load indeed, but we get rid of debt by sharing and planting seed. Boy, the Maui's back, y'all. Hey, if she can do this at 5 a.m. where she is, you and I have no choice or no reason or no excuse to be up and doing what we need to do to share this truth to everybody, to share it with and to everybody. Okay, let me go back to the last of the slide before we get up out of here, because today, this is personal. I'm going to catch Lakeisha McKnight and I'm going to catch Brother Consul. The last 2 days have been a whole nother kind of fire, but I'm going to catch them today. All right. So when misunderstood, when you combine debt and you combine money as being one and the same, you lose all of your control. Whoa, Danny D. James, you're right. Yeah, you lose all of your control. You lose everything in it. You misunderstand, and as a result, it deters you from your dream. It takes you right off course. You have no idea how you even got off course. So understand what we're dealing with here when we deal with debt. Here's the remedy. No, the remedy is not quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog. Somewhere along the line, I lost the slide. Okay. Okay, here's the remedy at number 5. Number 5 is really number 4, y'all. Okay, number 4, develop a wealth building mindset. Develop a wealth building mindset. You can't develop a wealth building mindset if you're not willing to be the wealth builder. It's no longer I want to be. You are to be the wealth builder. I want to have a business. No, the heck you don't. You want to be the business. Okay? A wealth building mindset allows you to see the difference between debt and see the difference between money. It allows you to properly categorize it and remove debt and build your money. Own your situations, own your life, and fight for your lifestyle. Own it. Take accountability. We have to have accountability partners, accountability teams. Had a powerful experience, and I was blessed with a call from Mr. Ty Bass yesterday, and he called and he shared some things that he got from the live wealth building session. Floored me. Then he said, come on, I got 5 minutes. What can we do right now? And your mind freezes if you're not focused on your business. He said, what can we do right now? And I said, hold on. And I called 2 of our fellow wealth builders and did a 3-way welcoming them to the opportunity with Mr. Ty Best. And they had such a conversation, and I followed the same rules. I mute, took notes, and they went in. He got off of one. He was so fired up. He said, okay, I've carved out 5 more minutes. Let's go. Move to another one. Boy, what an honor. What an honor. You know, when you have the power and the relationship with people, and all of us have it, we have this relationship to run with people who don't have to run. They don't have to do it, but they have a dream. If Dr. Sykes wants 1 billion people in Caribas, we want 1 million people in Wealth Builders Worldwide right now. Not the day before, not yesterday. We want not tomorrow. We want it right now. And he reaches out and he shares and he pours into everybody. That's why I say mentorship is the most powerful tool in this model, because if you don't know what it is to say, if you don't know how to tell other people, if you don't know what it is to make money, you got to align yourself with the success of others in order to grow into what you want your reality to be. Overpower debt. Do not let it rule you. Position yourself in a way where you rule it. I hope that rant made some sense. Woo! Boy, thank God for Tyrone, Miss Valerie Best. Okay, family. Please remind yourself, take this, post it everywhere that you can. Hopefully moderators share it in their presentations. Backed by popular demand, Mr. Ty Best is coming back to our platform here Saturday morning at 8 a.m. This is what we call before freedom hours, folks. You don't have to be up at 8 o'clock. I said it on our 90-day run to wealth, and Sister Connie said, no, I got to be up at 7 because she's talking about the class. Thank you, Sister Connie. That was flattering. You know, before freedom hours. So when I was working, when I did work the plantation, I would get up at 5:30, 6 a.m. to get my mind right, to be there, to give them my all at 8 a.m. And if you can give your all to something that's not doing all for you, what can you do less for yourself when you give your all here and you gain all? So I chose 8 o'clock to remind myself constantly, if I could do it for the slave master, I can do it for me and better. You know? So drive everybody. Saturday, July 4th, 8 a.m., Gold Independence Day, Freedom, the WBW System, and You, presented by Mr. Ty Best, right here, 8 a.m. Saturday. Bring them. Bring everybody. 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 Okay? Bring your teams. And same day, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking to the world, NOI.org, everyone, NOI.org, the criterion. Blessed is he who sent down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations. Okay, that's 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK and central points of Africa. You know, that's our music. That's our outro, y'all. I will see us tomorrow. Oh, and I'll see all of us with Mr. Keisha McKnight, then over to Brother Kansu, Hotep Atom, then on the mighty hump day power call with the real Browns. I'll be right there, and I'll be there for the 12 noon presentation as well. We'll be there for the huddle tonight. At someone post the time of the huddle, please. I want to say that it's 7:45 tonight. 7:45 a.m. I'm sorry, 7:45 p.m. Okay, the huddle on www.gorocks.info. And then after that, we have the 9 p.m. session with Brother Roger Williams. I believe Roger Williams is tonight in the presentation. And then we have Mr. Ty Best, the Freedom Call. I can't wait to find out what it's going to be. I'm going to be on all these platforms, family, and I'm driving everybody I can, and you all do the same. Peace and power. I'm your brother and friend. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity. Forward.
got something to say. Dig.
Let's change the world, divided we go unite. Let's change the world, all right, no problem, let's learn to do again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world.
What will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the fire. The devil is a liar. Do this with no hesitation.
Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
Somebody need to stop the war. Man, warring overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some colors. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfish. You wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle and tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world, divided we go united. Let's change the world, no fights, no wars, let's learn to love again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the Capitol with the minister. No doubt, shoes at the front door. Love is what you come for. Let's get it right, unite, but do it wrong.
Let's change the world, divided we go united. Let's change the world, no fight, no war, let's learn to again. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's change the world, let's change the world, let's change the world. Let's make hope for the future.